This is OK Overture. We're such big fans of musical theater and Broadway, and we have been for so long. And a few years ago, when we were writing one of our first albums, we thought it was a really cool idea to create an overture, but bring it into the modern world of music. And we've done it on every single album since. And the fans have loved it because they listen to the first track and they get a little sneak peek of what's to come, and it makes them even more excited, hopefully, to listen to the entire thing. So this is OK Overture. This is Bummerland. This was probably the quickest song to write on the album. We were sitting on the beat for actually 2 years, then we took it out of the hard drive and wrote, Bummerland, here I am, and then the entire song after that took about 20 minutes. It just flowed out of us. And it was really coming from the feelings we had during the pandemic and being in quarantine. And we took the idea of hitting rock bottom and how can we spin that into a positive mindset. So once you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. And we said, that's such an AJR-ish concept, let's just run with that.
Next up is 3 O'Clock Things. We wrote this as kind of a stream of consciousness song of what it feels like to be awake at 3 a.m. when your brain won't stop working. And the weird thoughts that you have and trying to figure out, is this really me? Will this make any sense tomorrow? And then it gets kind of political. We're very proud of this one. This is My Play. We wrote it about a very personal family issue that we went through. And it's a pretty common issue, and there are a lot of songs about it. And we thought, okay, what's a way to turn it on its head a little bit and paint more of an emotional picture as opposed to just explaining what's going on in your family. So this is My Play. This is Joe. This is a very weird one. We wrote this song about a literal person that I went to high school and middle school with, and we actually didn't change the name, and wrote it about how that random person that you should have forgotten about from 10 years ago for some reason stays on your mind forever. So this is Joe.
This is Adventure Is Out There. This was, I think, the very last song, if not one of the last songs we wrote for the album. We only had 1 or 2 more to go, and we had this song from Neo Theater called Socks. And it didn't make Neo Theater at the time, but we always said it was such a great song, so we took that and realized it actually really fit into the world of OK Orchestra. We fixed the chorus a little bit, we fixed the beat, Ryan actually sang on it, and we got it into the mindset of 2020 and 2021, and it turned out really, really cool.
This is Bang. We actually wrote this originally for the Neo Theater Deluxe. Then we kind of realized, oh, you know what, it sounds more like the next chapter of AJR as opposed to the end of a previous chapter. And so it really kicked off the OK Orchestra era in this very weird way with this boom, 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 kind of evil bad guy horn riff put in a hip-hop setting. But it's done really well for us, and we're very proud of it.
This is The Trick. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. This is an interesting song because it's from the point of view of being trapped in lying so much and that habit of getting into where you kind of can't stop lying, but you're lying for noble purposes, to make someone love you or to make someone like you. So it's that interesting balance of, this is a bad thing that I'm doing, but it's for this noble purpose. So it's that interesting look at that idea. So this is The Trick. Give it a listen. This is Ordinary-ish People. The song started out with us wanting to recreate this marching band production beginning intro thing. We've had that idea for a really long time, so we just kind of laid that down and Ryan built the beat over it, and it turned to this really cool kind of head-bopping thing. And then we wanted to write a lot simpler of a concept for one of the last songs on the album, so we came up with this idea, which is basically you can't really win in life unless you are nothing at all. Everyone's going to judge you if you're this way, everyone's going to judge you if you're this way, so if you're literally...
Humpty Dumpty is a song that took about a year to finish. We had a first demo, and then we lived with it. Remember this for like 8 months, and we came back and reworked it. It's about coping with your feelings and trying to put on a happy face in the moment, and then you cry about it later and you feel the pain later. And I think it's something we feel both on an artistic level of being an artist, that's kind of your job as an artist to be on stage and project that persona. For World's Smallest Violin, it started with a note that you had written down that said, 2 things can be sad. And the idea behind this song is it's kind of like a bratty, not great, the optics of it aren't great, but we thought, that this is like an important thing to say, that 2 things can be sad, that there are people starving in this country here, and that is a legitimately extremely sad thing. But also my parents got divorced, and that can also be really sad, and one doesn't need to preclude the other. This is Way Less Sad. this was kind of a fun adventure of a song over the last 8 years. It's been different artists that we were writing for, Kygo and Cardi B, and a track here and a chorus here, and eventually we kind of took it all back, mishmashed it together, and made it this AJR-ish song about how, you know, you're not quite all the way better yet, but you're not really doomed anymore, and is it okay to celebrate that little win? This is Christmas in June. We have a song on the click called Come Hang Out, and I think this is kind of the grown-up version of Come Hang Out, where Come Hang Out was about trying to balance your hobby and your hanging out with friends, like your social life. That's a very like teenage problem, and at the time it felt really important, but it is like technically a very teenage problem. This is kind of the grown-up version where it's, okay, this is my passion, this is what I want to do with my life, and this is the, you know, the love of my life. These two loves, how do I balance?